I'm Eva Biaudet and I'm from Finland, and I actually been always a politician. I think actually I got my sort of awakening when I was 7 years old, and I think there was the first, I don't know what to do with that, the first TV news about famine in Biafra. And as a little child I saw the pictures of children dying, and I just felt that I had to save the world, and that it's unfair, and there's so much inequality in the world that something has to be done. I mean, it's something that young people usually do. I think still today, I think the young people actually are moved by existential issues, like global issues, like environment and climate, and of course the injustice and inequality of people. Was elected into parliament in 1991 the first time, so I think I've been in my 26 years. I was 8 years away in between. After my 4th term, I actually was appointed to the OSCE as a special representative for combating human trafficking, and I became a diplomat, worked internationally. And after I returned home, I was the ombudsperson for minorities, like a civil servant, human rights watchdog for 5 years. And to me, actually, it was really healthy to see the political decisions, both international and national, how they were implemented and how they came about, not only from the legislator's point of view. And it was really, really healthy. When I came into parliament in the 90s, be it that Finland actually had a very hard economic recession, there still was this feeling of hope, you know. There was these walls tearing down, the Soviet had fell. We lost a lot of economy, but still there was this idea that things are getting better. Also on the human rights side, the international, you know, the UN, the rule-based world side, there was a lot of convention work, and we were feeling that we were always somehow, you know, that it wasn't possible to do a pushback on human rights or well-being of people. But of course, we know today that we were wrong. It was also for me, I had grown up in a Finland where we actually felt that we had equality actually quite far. And I think for most women living still today, I think there's this fall of illusions, crumbling illusions when you actually have a family and you get into working life, and you see that it isn't still quite fair, and everything is not ready. I also got in my first term, I got my 3 first children, and later when I became a minister, I got my 4th. And of course, you could see that actually a key to a lot of gender equality issues was actually the shared, or the imbalance in sharing responsibilities for caring for your children, for your family, for your close ones. That's why I think it has been immensely important that the women in the Finnish parliament have been the drivers of making legislation that actually is really pushing parents to share their parental leaves. And today we have a law that says that they should share 7 months, and 7 months it doesn't really mean that fathers actually take half, even if they have a choice to do it. So there has to be more carrots in the way that you have to go there, because it actually affects the economy of women. It still makes women poorer when they get older, that they have been away from the working life. We know that the times of having small children affects your career as a woman in a negative way, but if you are a man, actually, you only go upwards. When I was a diplomat, actually, I just want to say this more. In Vienna, and I worked with other diplomats mainly, and governments from 57 countries. It was actually amazing that I learned that, because I somehow had felt, having worked with foreign affairs and international relations in the parliament before, I somehow felt that when states agree, it happens in some kind of collectiveness. But when I was in the OSCE, I noticed that actually it is about personalities and about people meeting and wanting to make a difference. And yesterday when we heard Josim Bailey that negotiation is possible even in extremely difficult situations, when you are sort of on opposite sides, both sides think that this is not possible, but if you want to have a solution, then you somehow can create it. And actually on the human rights side, working against human trafficking within the OC, you could actually see that things happened when the people in the room actually wanted things to happen, even if they had their countries behind them. It made all the difference that you had good people really pushing forwards, both to the partner, but also to the country and the legislators and everybody in your own country, because you had always to win the both teams. It was not enough to win the opposite side. So I think that was also really. My third learning was, sorry.
I have 10 with other speakers.
Yeah, I do. And I will come back to that, but also that you need also, having good legislation, you need also watchdogs that monitor that things go right.
Thank you, Elizabeth.